Looking back at a big week 4 of Ohio high school football, we're going to break down some of the tape of Bill Kurlick and I out on the road this week. Lakota West is the first stop with one of the best defensive secondaries in the state of Ohio. Malik Hartford there is number 1, laying a thump on somebody. He's a 6'2 and a half, about 180 pounds, plays defensive back and corner. Great job of changing directions there, running with the receiver, making a play on the ball. He also plays receiver. You're going to see him on this route go deep, but then he's going to have to work his way back to the ball to make a play for the quarterback and get open. The quarterback's obviously in trouble scrambling here. He's got soft hands. He could probably play on either side of the ball, but he's going to go to college to play defensive back. Next secondary player we're going to check out at Lakota West is Tabron Benny Powell, 6'1", 170 pounds, and he's a very versatile player in the secondary. He can play up along the line of scrimmage, as you're going to see here on the tight end. You're going to see how physical he can be throwing the tight end down on the ground there. He can play back off the ball, and you're going to see him make a break on the receiver here and make a nice open field tackle. So he's one of those guys that whether it's up front or in the back, no problem here. And then on special teams, you're going to see him deliver a thump there on a player. So he's a hitter. He's very physical. He's a guy that when you play up around the line of scrimmage and he's taking on blocks, can play like a linebacker but has coverage skills. Leaving Lakota West, we head over to Lakota East and talk about Austin Sierraville, the giant offensive lineman headed to Ohio State. After all the summer camps this year and his own camp at Lakota East, he looks like he is slimmed down and he's in great shape. Check out the flexibility. He's their punter. Puts a big thump on the ball when he kicks it. It's very interesting to see him punting the ball. And of course, what he really does is gap down and open up offensive holes for the people running the ball. He did that all night. He's one of those guys that's like a road grader. Their offense is meant for him to get down low and come off the ball and blow people back. And right there, you can see him rooting people out, even if he's on his hands and knees, pushing people back. Over and over again, they ran the ball behind him. He even flip-flopped on the line sometimes to go to the strong side. His pass protection looks the best it's ever been. His feet look light and nimble, and he's kick-stepping really well. But again, in the run game, that's where he is a featured performer in this offense. They're a downhill team that just loves to hand the ball off and go behind their big guys. While I was there, he definitely gave me a variety of clips to pick from, whether it was pass protection or run blocking, but he had a dominating performance that night. There wasn't one time where I saw that, there wasn't a highlight. It was almost like I could have used every single play for him. So his development is definitely off and running. Of course, he's rocking the Ohio State headband for the fans. Now we're headed over to St. Ed's to check out Ben Roebuck, the 6'8" offensive lineman, offensive tackle. He's out on the edge this year playing tackle. And all the work he did at summer camps in the offseason has paid off, because you can see he's lighter and more nimble back there kicking his feet. His pass set looks as the best it's ever looked since I've been watching him. He's a guy that Ohio State's been monitoring ever since he's been to their camp this year. And as you watch him run block, that's his specialty. He's so big and so powerful. He just engulfs high school offensive linemen with his size, and when he gets down low and wants to move people off the ball, there's no one that can get in his way there. The next offensive lineman we're going to look at St. Ed's is Deontay Armstrong, 6'7", 280 pounds, and he's extremely athletic, and his process has all been about development also. He's a player that every time we've seen him, he's been bigger, he's been stronger, he's been quicker. He's always been a great athlete. He's always had the feet, and now he's added the power to that game where he can lock down and anchor in the run game and blow guys off the ball. I really like the combination of the long arms and the feet on Armstrong. He does a great job of extending his arms and running his feet and running defenders out of the picture repeatedly. He's one of those guys that just gets better and better every time I see him. And it might feel like you're looking in the mirror, but we have to talk about his brother, Devontae Armstrong. Very similar player, very similar characteristics, has great feet. They played right next to each other on the offensive line, and right there they looked identical, kick-stepping out to their players. You can see him at guard right here doing a great job in pass protection as he extends the arms and anchors down. Has put on a lot of weight, put on a lot of strength over the offseason. Great feet, another kid that'll pull and zone block you and run his feet and finish plays. Both of these brothers have very similar characteristics. When you watch them play, it's hard to tell them apart, but big-time prospects out of St. Ed's. We're going to go from the Armstrong brothers to the Zahersky brothers over at Berea Mid-Park. We're going to look at number 10 first, Devin Zahersky, a tight end, defensive end, 6'5", 240 pounds. You can see him right here catching a ball and what type of an athlete he is. On defense, he did a great job stacking up the run game. You see the power he has here, stacking up an offensive lineman. You'll see him again on defense, getting after the quarterback here, putting a shot on him. I'm not sure what side of the ball he'll play in college, but he's a big athlete that can run. And as he grows and develops, he's going to be one of those big athletes you just take. Now we'll check out younger brother Mason Zahersky, an offensive lineman, about 6'4", 235 pounds right now. Right now, his strength is his feet and his kick step. You can see how athletic he is there, getting back in pass protection. You see him here down block and run a defender off the ball. He's one of those guys that we're going to keep checking back on to see if he gets bigger and stronger. And during camps this summer, how his run blocking progresses. Will he be able to blow people off the ball in the run game? Will he be able to anchor down in the pass game? But right now, you see he is an extremely athletic, long prospect. So two great looking players coming out of Berea Mid-Park we'll be checking back with frequently. The next big lineman we're checking out is from St. Edward High School. James Rayner, number 79, 6'6", 300-pound junior, and he has just massive size. He kind of reminds me of Ben Roebuck last year. Does a great job in the running game with power. He's working out there on the edge with his feet, doing a good job in pass protection, but I think as he gets to camps this summer, he's going to thin down a little bit and look a little better, and he'll be a guy that probably blows up. He definitely has major upsides with that frame and the amount of power he possesses, so we'll be checking back on him. Watching St. Edward's, number 25 stood out. Tailback Sean Martin, 6'1", 175-pound junior. He broke away in the passing game and in the running game. Looks like one of those guys who has great speed and vision, gets the ball in his hands, and when he gets in the open field, he caused a lot of trouble for the Euclid defenders. Again, here you're going to see him flying through the middle of the field, and he's going to leave everybody in the dust a couple of times. So I'm going to be interested to see what he runs this summer when he gets to college camps, what type of 40 time he has. St. Ignatius actually has two tailbacks you need to know about. Number 24, Grant Washington, is a sophomore, 6 foot, 180 pounds. And boy, does he get north and south in a hurry. If you watch him on this run in his own play, he puts his foot in the ground, and the next time you're going to see him is in the back of the end zone. Shows some very good speed in the open field, and he's one of those players, again, when he gets to camps this summer, I'm going to be standing at the 40-yard dash station trying to get a time on this kid because it looks like he has some big-time speed. He did a great job running in the open field, using vision, using his burst, and of course, the offensive line at St. Ignatius is fun to run behind because they will provide some nice open holes where you can provide some big-time plays. Look at a couple more clips of him as he's running in the camera, and you can get an idea of the size and speed he possesses. Looks great in person. Be one of those running backs that as he gets bigger and stronger, you'll see more of a downhill presence. You'll see him between the tackles start carrying people. But for a sophomore right now, the burst and the speed. Going to peek at another offensive lineman, Jacob Schorsch from Elder. 6'5", 295-pound junior, and he's another one of those road grader types that's massive, has a great amount of size and power in him. He did a great job down blocking against St. Ed's, made some big holes for his linemen. He's a guy that we're going to be watching this summer to see how he develops and progresses. We'll look at a couple seniors that popped up when I was on the road this weekend. Number 18, Carson Brown, 6'8", 215-pound tight end. I know he's lined up at receiver here, but he's a developmental prospect that if a college takes him at 6'8", you never know what you're going to get in a few years. He could be 240, 250 pounds, but right now he's very athletic, playing receiver and tight end. And the last prospect is Will Robinson from St. Ignatius, 6'5", 250-pound defensive end. And he did a great job playing in the backfield of Euclid that night. He made a couple plays in the backfield that were right in front of the camera. He's a big, long defensive end with upside. You can see him locking out Myshawn Turner right there from Euclid and making another tackle for a loss. Big weekend of Ohio High School football, Week 4. Look for the breakdown from Eye in the Sky in Week 6.